Hey, hon, I'm gonna go hunting for a while unless you care.
All right. Oh, are you sure you want to do that?
Why?
Because you stink.
Oh. Well, howdy folks, thanks for taking the time to be here today. Let's talk about something just a little bit different. Hunting season's almost upon us, at least it is for me. Around here, it is bow season, but unfortunately I'm not comfortable enough in my skill set to humanely take a deer with a bow and arrow. So I'm waiting until rifle season. I wanted to go ahead and get this video out before hunting season started improper for most of us because I ran across a product online through actually someone I met on YouTube that really interested me. You probably know from the title that it's a hunter's soap, and I want to talk about that just a little bit today and my experiences with it. Now, the company this comes from is called Riley's Felted Soaps and Things. It's an Etsy company, which they offer a lot of cool stuff. We're mainly just going to talk about soap today, but I highly encourage you guys to go check out their Etsy store. Susan's a really nice lady, and she has a lot of stuff to offer for humans and pets alike. So anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. The soap I wanted to highlight today, like I said, it's called Hunter Soap, and that's kind of a play on words because if you read into the backstory of the soap a little bit, the original recipe turned out as kind of like an accident. Basically, the short of it is something went wrong with a batch of soap. She didn't know what to do with it, and so she had an epiphany, like many small American businesses have, and turned a failure into a success. So she was thinking of her brother or her brother-in-law, a close relative that likes to hunt. She thought, how can I fix this soap? Well, what she did is she added some essential oil of cedar as well as citronella. Well, as a lot of us know, citronella is the base oil that is commonly used in many bug repellents nowadays, and it actually works really well. Anyway, back to me running across it. What particularly interested me was, number one, it had citronella in it, which would provide a good base layer of protection for bugs, and also the cedar. Now, I really enjoy to hunt, but just because of time constraints and stuff like that, I wouldn't consider myself an avid hunter. But I have never really been into or used the masking soaps and the anti-scent soaps and stuff like that. So I really don't have any experiences with those. But what really stuck out to me about this soap was, again, the bug repellent properties of it, or at least the potential bug repellent properties of it, as well as kind of the masking scent of cedar, because cedar is a pretty common tree around here. And when I inquired about it, Susan was kind enough to send out a bunch of samples, not only for me, but she sent out a bunch of fun stuff for my kids too. So first off, thank you very much, Susan. I really appreciate that. My kids are having a ton of fun using the soaps and the lip balms and other stuff that you sent. Anyway, guys, on to talking about the soap in particular. Well, I'm not going to show you the soap we've been using. We've been using it for probably 2 months or so. And let's face it, guys, looking at used bars of soap is probably not that attractive. I'm just going to go ahead and use the pictures that she's provided on her website or Etsy store there so you guys can look at or see what it's actually going to look like if you choose to order some. Now, before we get into ingredients and stuff like that, I will say that one of the first things I did with the Hunter soap was I cut off a wedge of it to keep in my kit that I carry around in the woods and stuff like that, just for general sanitation when I'm out and about. I haven't actually used that particular bar too much. Mostly I've just used the main portion in the shower. But this is what the soap looks like. I've just kept it wrapped up in some wax paper and kind of stuffed that down in a Ziploc bag. And the few times that I have used it out in the woods, as soon as I get back, I just dry it off with a paper towel, something like that, and put it back in my kit. One other thing before we get down into actually showing you pictures and ingredients of soap and stuff like that. There is one thing I do want to kind of highlight here by her request. And it does need to be highlighted because it is pretty unique, but it's kind of awkward at the same point in time. Yeah. How do I say this as a guy? Okay. Ladies, she has a soap just for you. It's specifically designed to keep things nice and pH balanced and all that stuff down there. So, yeah, I'm feeling rather awkward, so I'm going to go over here and hang out for a minute. Okay, well, now that we've had that awkward moment together, let's go ahead and talk about that soap and ingredients and show you pictures of what you might get. Alright guys, well the soap I'm highlighting today, again, it's called a Deer Hunter soap or Deer Hunter Earthy soap. Like I mentioned, it does have citronella oil and cedar oil and aloe vera in it. I'll talk more about my experiences with it in a few minutes. But here you can see a picture of it. It is based off of coconut oil, palm oil, olive oil. Another one I wanted to highlight here is she was kind enough to send one for my son, my youngest son. She calls it her 4C baby your baby soap, which is unscented. She says she can smell some chamomile in it, but I can't. But maybe that just means my nose isn't that good. Again, it is also based off of olive oil, coconut oil, and it does have chamomile oil, chamomile tea. But it works really well. And guys, this would be an example of what she calls her felted soaps. It's basically just alpaca wool that is wrapped around a soap bar, so it's almost like a washcloth and soap bar in one. Alright folks, well that's just a quick show and tell of what she has to offer. I'm also going to include at the very tail end of this video a quick tour of her website on Etsy there, so you can get a broader vision of what she has to offer. But as far as my experiences with this Hunter soap, it works like soap. It works great. You know, it does what soap's supposed to do. It suds very well. It washes off easily, but it also gets you clean. It does smell good. It does smell a little bit like citronella. It does smell a little bit like cedar. As far as just general out and about, outside in the woods, stuff like that, I have found that the citronella layer, possibly mixed with a cedar layer or whatnot, it does work fairly well for being a bug repellent just by itself. It is not 100% by any means. I've done 1 or 2 videos, I believe, on some natural bug repellent options, and while they work really well, they're not 100% either. You combine these two, and it does work incredibly well. Now, as far as a bar of soap to take out in the woods with you, just for general sanitation, it does work well for that. Once it gets wet, it doesn't stay all, all slimy and stuff. It dries off easily, dries quickly, so it's easy just to throw back in some wax paper and put in a Ziploc bag, and you're ready for the next time. Just like I said before, dry it off when you get back home. And I will say that with the aloe vera in there, it does leave you nice and soft, because every guy wants soft hands, right? I know I do. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for taking the time to be here today. I do truly appreciate it. Guys, if you liked the video or found it helpful, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up. If you haven't already, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. It's right down there. I do appreciate that as well. And guys, please hit up that comment section. Let me know what you think about this concept. Ask questions that I may not have thought to answer in this video. Maybe give me some alternatives, some other products that are available. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for being here, and I will see you next time. Anyway, folks, thanks for taking the time to be here today. I do generally appreciate it. Just generally, not genuinely or anything, just generally appreciate it. Yes, I talk to myself when I get tongue-tied. Or I'm talking to you, who knows? This may be in a blooper roll, I have no idea. Anyway...